I want to talk to you guys about lesson 8.5, which we're doing third. It's operations with complex numbers. So we will add, subtract, multiply, just like we did with polynomials. The difference is instead of x or a different variable, I'll have I, and I has number properties. Now I is square root of -1, as you can see in the graphic here. So since I is square root of -1, then, oops, I squared is -1. And so what it comes down to is you won't ever have I with an exponent on it in an expression. Anytime you get 2, then 2 multiplied together, then we'll trade it out for a -1. So you'll either have I or you won't have I, but you won't have I with an exponent on it. Here's an example with adding, and it works like it does for the polynomials. I still combine like terms. The difference is I have a real number term and an imaginary term. So I'm gonna stack these up and add this way: 4 plus 4 minus 5i, okay? 6 plus 4 is 10. I minus 5i is minus 4i. This is simplified. I don't have degrees for these because I don't have variables. I is not a variable. I put an extra one on here so that if you want to practice one, you can. So write this down: -4 plus 2i, and add that to 6 minus 3i. You always write it with the real number first and the imaginary part of the number second. When you add those, you should get 2 minus I. So pause this if you need to combine those and just double check yourself that we agree on the answer. You'll also need to subtract. Whenever I subtract, this group, 6 minus 2i, I will change it to an addition problem, and I will change the signs inside. I'll distribute that -1 into the parentheses, which changes the signs of both of these numbers inside, and then I add. So 8 and minus 6 is 2, and 3i plus 2i is plus 5i when I subtract. I also put an example on here for you to do. So you subtract this one, you should get 2 plus I. If you need to, go ahead and pause this here and work that one out. We'll also multiply. And as I said when I introduced the lesson in the beginning, I squared is -1. So when I work this out and simplify, just like when you have polynomials and you have something squared, that means this group times itself 2 times. That's what squared is. And then you can use FOIL or box method, whichever is more comfortable for you. It truly doesn't matter. Set it up as if it were a polynomial. This is plus 25i squared. That doesn't fit in my box, but okay. So I get here plus 25i squared. Anytime you have I squared, trade that for -1. So we'll change this plus 25i squared to minus 25. And then I will combine that with the real number. So I'll combine these on the diagonal just like I do if I have a polynomial, minus 20i. But for complex numbers, I also combine these real numbers. 4 minus 25 is -21. So I get -21 minus 20i when I multiply those. Don't ever leave an exponent on the I for an answer. For a complex number, that's any number that can be written in the form. Wow, that's really green. Let's try again. A complex number is any number that can be written in the form a plus bi, where this first part is considered the real number, and then the second part is imaginary because it has the I. And I put an extra practice on here for you. Multiply those together. You should get this answer. You have paper and pencil practice to do and a check on Delta Math to make sure that you got it. Good luck. I'll see you guys in a couple days.